Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Living in Canada. For those of you who are planning to move to Canada to study, to work, to start a new life here, you might be wondering how long everything actually takes. So today I want to share with you my personal experience of how long it took me to move from Indonesia, where I've been previously in 2018, until I got to Canada. And I will share with you a bit of a backstory to that. So what happened was that in 2017, I first applied to UBC, which is the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. And I and my husband, actually both of us, we applied to a master's degree program in film production. And we waited the whole year for the results, only to find in 2018, in early 2018, that our applications both have been declined. That was around February 2018, and both of us, you can imagine, were just so disappointed because we were putting so much hope into that plan. We really wanted that to happen. We so wanted to go and study in Vancouver in Canada for various reasons. What happened in the next weeks was that we both were quite down. We were disappointed. We were feeling depressed. But then something happened, or rather we did something that totally changed the course of our lives, and that resulted in us finally being here in Canada, in Toronto, and living here for 2.5 years. So what happened was that after we got that rejection letter in February 2018, we sulked for a few weeks, but then I told myself that no, we are still going to Canada. Although this didn't work out, we are still going, no matter how. So for the next 2 weeks, what happened was that we both researched all the universities and colleges that might be suitable for us in Canada. So we simply Googled, we went to the different university websites, and I came up with a list of, I think, around 20 universities and 20 programs where we might possibly study. And one eye-opener at that time was that we realized that we didn't necessarily have to study in a master's program. I don't know why, but for so long, both of us were fixated on the idea that we wanted to study in a master's program. And both of us already have bachelor's degrees. We worked for a long time. We have tons of work experience. And I already have a master's degree in business administration. So then I thought, why not try and figure out whether there are other kinds of programs also suitable to us that are not necessarily master programs. And when I opened up myself to that idea, that is when we started to come across a bunch of postgraduate certificate programs. So postgraduate certificate programs are for people who already have a degree and they study something for around 1 to 2 years. And what you get after that is a postgraduate certificate. And for both of us, it didn't really matter whether we had a master's degree or a postgraduate degree. We just wanted to further our knowledge at that time about the film industry. We wanted to learn how it's done in Canada. So it didn't matter what kind of degree it was that we got. So I ended up with this bunch of this list of 20 places, 20 programs to study in. And those included colleges in Toronto as well as in Vancouver, and I made a comparison about the different prices, the length of programs, and I studied who the instructors were and what the content of the program was. And in the end, we decided to apply to several colleges, among others Centennial College in Toronto, and we both at that time applied for the film and television business program. So both of us applied, and soon after we got an acceptance letter, and everything happened so fast. So I just want to reverse a bit and talk a bit about the timeline here. And keep in mind that at that time, it was a regular time, meaning that we were not in a pandemic situation. So you can't necessarily expect that that same timeline will also be applicable right now in this special situation. But just to give you an idea of how much can happen in a very short time frame, in fact, in a time frame of 4 months, I want to go through the exact time frame with you. And I'm going to read out of my notebook so I don't, because I don't want to leave out any information. So after doing our research of the colleges that we wanted to apply to, we started applying around early April, and we applied, I think, to 2 or 3 colleges, and we had the help of a local agency in Indonesia called IDP. I think they are present in many countries. They're all around the world, and they were very helpful in the process because they knew exactly what kind of documents you needed, etc. So they helped us to apply and also submit all the documents. And shortly after, in a matter of 3 weeks, less than a month, both of us, I and my husband, we got an acceptance letter to several of these colleges. So it was really not that difficult because obviously we were qualified, and we also had experience in film and in the film business. So both of us were really positively surprised because we waited about a year to get results for that master program application and got declined. But now, because we were willing to open ourselves up to studying a totally different kind of program, we got a result, an acceptance letter, in a matter of just 3 weeks. So we were so thrilled. So after that, we quickly started our visa application process. And at that time, we had to make a decision. We had to decide which one of us wanted to study, because the tuition fees for 1 year was around, I think, $16,500, and it would have been too expensive for both of us to study at the same time. So in the end, we decided that my husband would study in the film and television postgraduate program. So he would be applying for the study permit, while I, as his spouse, would apply for an open work permit. So this is also one of the awesome things about Canada, which is if you're married or you're in a common in-law relationship, if one spouse studies, the other one can apply for an open work permit. And in most cases, this is approved, meaning that the spouse can work in any kind of job while the other spouse is working. So we went ahead and prepared our visa application documents, and because we had most of the documents already in place, translated, and so it took us a very short amount of time. We were able to put together our application package in around a month. So it was around end of May when we submitted our visa application, and then it was time to wait. And I know that is always the time where you feel most anxious because you're not really sure what the result will be, whether you'll get an approval or not. But it turned out that everything also happened very fast, and it wasn't complicated at all. So after a month, so end of June, we already got our permits. So my husband got his study permit, and I got my open work permit. So if you look at the time frame, it really didn't take us a lot of time. So we started researching all the colleges in March. We applied in April. We prepared our visa documents in a month, and then we got our visa in about a month plus. So it only took us about 4 months. And of course, now during this special situation, it might not be able to achieve this in the same amount of time. Maybe not in 4 months plus, maybe it will take you longer. I'm not sure, 6 months, 8 months, or whatever. But the point here is that if you set your mind to it, in a very short time, in less than 1 year, you can make a really, really big change to your life. And I would say that both for I and my husband, this was one of the best decisions that we made, to just change our mindset, this mindset from wanting to get a master's degree here in Canada to being open to study in a different kind of program. So just to tell you a bit more about the program, so my husband studied in a postgraduate certificate program in film and television business at Centennial College, and he completed that in 1 year. There were 8 months of in-class instructions, plus there was a field placement or an internship, and after he graduated, he got a job. So we've been here in Canada for 2.5 years now, and in the meantime, I also followed the same path. So I also reapplied again, and I was accepted in the same program, and I also studied this program. In fact, I am now in the middle of this program. I'm in my second semester and I'm about to finish. In case you are not in Canada yet, but you are someone who really wants to come to Canada for studying or working, then don't be discouraged. Don't think that everything is impossible and so complicated. If you set your mind to it, if you focus on that particular goal and make it your priority this year in 2021, and if you are willing to spend some time on the weekends or after your long day of work to research where you want to study or perhaps work at, and how you can apply for a visa, then things might happen very fast for you. It might happen in a matter of 1 year. Imagine that in a year from now, or even less, maybe even in 8 months, you can already be here in Canada and start your life here. Now, in hindsight, I'm thinking that all of this while in the past 5 to 10 years, we really overthought everything. So I was actually already thinking about coming to Canada, studying in Canada about perhaps 6 or 8 years ago, but I just didn't take any action because I thought that it would be too complicated, it's too difficult, maybe it's too late, and I didn't want to go through all that trouble, and I kept postponing it. But now in hindsight, I'm thinking that actually I could have started this process of moving to Canada much earlier. But anyways, it's better later than never, right? So I hope that for you guys watching right now, this video could give you a bit of encouragement and that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel and know that yes, it can be possible to make a dramatic change within just 1 year if you just focus on it. I hope this was useful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. And by the way, if you're curious to know more about this postgraduate certificate program that takes only 1 or 2 years, then you might want to check out one of my other videos that I link here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.